Welcome to the show built for the curious, the makers, and the dreamers. This podcast is where sawdust meets guitar strings, where design sketches live alongside fishing stories, and where the great outdoors fuels creativity of every kind. Welcome to Intuitive Woodworks, milling and chilling. I want to hear it now.
We are impatient.
We are very impatient. Let's build a sign in 3 hours.
We're 5 minutes into our show. Can we listen to it yet?
The finish is still not dry, and I love it.
Oil's going to be dripping off of here during the show.
And we'll be showing you how to repaint a wall with oil saturation on it. That's okay. That's what this show's about.
It is.
It's about everything.
Maybe we should introduce ourselves.
My name's Brad. I'm the owner of Intuitive Woodworks, alongside with my beautiful wife, Catherine, who is kind of like a silent partner and also the guiding of it. She's like our GPS.
Yeah.
We think we're navigating and using the stars, and then we have to look at the GPS and say, oh, man, we're way off course.
Right.
This has been a passion of mine my entire life. I grew up working in a wood shop. My dad is a very hands-on person. You'll end up getting to meet him later on in some of the episodes. I figured we should bring him in because he's here quite often.
Wilf is the guy.
He is the guy. Where there's a Wilf,
there's a way.
And growing up, you learned really quick on how to build stuff. Especially we grew up out in Peace River until at a young age. And anytime I wanted to do something or have something, we went out to the shop and we built it.
Yeah.
And that's, that gets the curiosity going. And even just down to the VCR, I'm going to say that, yeah. What does it actually stand?
The VCR,
yeah,
what's that?
Yeah, the video thing. We had to rewind or be kind, rewind. And even when those died out, we had to, tear it apart, see what made it work. I was always tinkering. And I think, though, the true passion for it started when I was in junior high. And when I was in junior high, we did a career day. We weren't able to, it was not the career day where you go with your parents. It was another one where they pick a handful of assignments, I guess, and put you out to the world and say, hey, this is what you're going to do today. And mine was, I went to a wood shop in a guy's garage in Fort Saskatchewan. I wish I could remember the guy's name, but we stood there in this, we had to kick the sawdust aside walking through there. This was prior to.
It was a working shop.
It was a working shop. He was building tons of things. He did it as a career change himself for spending more time. He had a daughter with a disability, and she required basically a full-time parent at home. Yeah. And when she did have EAs or assistance with her, he was out in the shop building stuff and selling it at wood crafts or craft hobby sales, things like that.
Yeah, yeah. Craft shows.
When we were there was a couple of us students there, and I can't remember the other people that were with me, but I just remember he was like, what are your passions? And I said, well, football at the time, because I was just getting into the spring camps and things.
You're from Canada, right? Wasn't the answer hockey?
Yeah, you'd think so. I was one of the.
I guess football is an acceptable second.
It's a good acceptable second. Yeah,
We do love our CFL.
Yeah,
and our Elks.
There was too many of us kids in our family, and mom and dad couldn't be everywhere at once. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but no, I was just getting into football. So this guy, he said, "Let's draw you up what do you want to build? Let's build you a football holder." And we drew a trace of my hand. We cut it out with a skill saw. Actually, it was a jigsaw. No, scroll saw.
Scroll saw, yeah.
A scroll saw. And used a router. We used table saw. Showed me a whole bunch of things. And this was before SawStop even existed.
Yeah.
So that
dangerous times.
That was the fun thing. Was he's like, worry about your eyes. Eye protection, ear protection. At the same time, he's like, push that through. Yeah. Don't worry about your fingers. They'll grow back maybe. So went ahead and built this thing, painted it blue, and it stuck on my wall until I moved out. And now it's actually stuck on Owen's bedroom.
Oh, so you still have it?
I still have it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the baby powder ended up going up on it.
The what?
Baby powder.
Oh,
so it's in Owen's room, but where it is, we ended up putting baby powder on there at one point when he was little, because he used to get a hold of it and talc his whole room. And man, oh man, that was a disaster. So the football came down, and the baby powder went up there, and it just kind of stuck. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's funny. That reminds me of sort of my origin story, if you will, with my grandpa. So I'm Darryl Cameron. I work for Brad at Intuitive Woodworks, and we met about 7 years ago when you were doing a job at my music studio.
2018 or 2019?
Yeah, I think 2018.
Yeah.
And so my history and sort of my as I say, origin story. My grandpa was a high school teacher, but really into woodworking and did a lot of stuff at home. And so he always had me and my cousins in the basement. We were making toolboxes and all kinds of wood projects. And but it's interesting you talk about the football stand that you still have, because I have a chair that he made for me. I think he wrote on the back of it, it was for my birthday. I think it was from 1974 or something like that. And I had it up until about 2 years ago when my house flooded. And unfortunately it got soaked, and it kind of sat there and it was starting to rot or get moldy, so we had to get rid of it. But it's just those nostalgic things. It's pretty cool to have.
Dating
for that
yourself
long.
with that one.
Oh, I know. We won't talk ages, but yeah, I had a chair from my grandpa in 74, so you can do the math. But yeah, and then so we met when I had a music studio. Well, stepping back, I actually started in IT. That's kind of where I came out of high school, and university was in the IT world. So I've always been, I've liked programming and always liked creating. I always did woodworking as a hobby ever since my grandpa in high school and things like that. So that's always been a passion of mine, is the woodworking and just creating in general. And, we'll talk about it more either in this episode or in future episodes, but fly fishing, you and I have a similar interest in fly fishing. And so when I was a teenager, I loved to tie the flies and all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't just the fishing. It was always about the making stuff and creating. So, that was always just a big part of my upbringing. But went from IT to music, had a music studio. And then, things kind of went awry in 22 with COVID. And as many businesses did, we didn't really survive that era. And then this year came to work for you because you were expanding Intuitive and looking to do bigger and better things. And that excited me. So
it kind of just happened too. Cause I put out a post, I think, about something we were building, and I think you just messaged me and was like,
yeah, you had posted about how you had broken through a wall in the shop to expand the shop.
Yeah.
And you weren't putting out an ad for a job or anything, but I was kind of between jobs, and I just said, hey, you're looking for any woodworkers? And you said, well, maybe let's talk. And so here we are 6 months later, roughly. It's actually been, it's almost 6 months. Yeah. So,
man, time flies when you're having fun.
So that's the origin story of getting here.
No, and I mean, you nailed yours down a lot more than I did. I could go on for 3 days about my woodworking journey and working with my hands.
Yeah.
And, I'm just going to jump back to it here a little bit.
Absolutely.
And I just remember going to this guy's shop thinking, man, that's the coolest thing ever. Was being able to go out to get up in the morning, go out to your garage and build cool things all day long. Not realizing the actual being an adult sucks. Paying bills, taxes, and all those other fun things that you got to do. But I thought, if a guy could do this or a person could do this, man, that would just be absolutely wild.
Yeah.
I also remember grade 9, my parents were doing their kitchen reno, and when they went to go do the reno, they knocked a couple walls out, expanded, they redid the whole main floor of their house. And my parents were my dad was very, in particular, was like, I want solid oak cabinets.
Yeah.
And at the time, everybody was like, no, you use melamine. And Dad's like, I realize that. I want solid oak cabinets. I want oak ply cabinets. And nobody would build them. He's like, I don't want veneer or the thin, I don't want a PVC edge banding or anything like that. I want a nice solid oak with real wood touch and feel to it. And after a handful of different quotes, and some of them that were just unreally expensive.
I was going to say, did your dad win the lottery to have a solid oak cabinet?
I wouldn't say that.
No,
but I mean,
no,
they were just like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So my great uncle had a wood shop in his place there out in Redwater. And my dad and my uncle talked about it, and they took measurements after my dad and I went and redid the main floor. And I should say by me, I just went ahead and cut out some walls when I wasn't supposed to. He's like, this wall's going to come out. And he came back and I already had it half down. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Not that one.
Pretty much.
You're gung-ho.
I was very gung-ho, like a sign. Like, we got to make it right now.
Exactly.
And no, I just remember going back and forth to Redwater and building all these boxes, staining them at my great uncle's house and in their basement. So they were all built in his shop, moved into their basement, stained them. My great aunt would be down there just sanding away. And from there, they all got wrapped with cloth and wrapped however we could protect them. Driven back from Redwater in the back of a Suburban out to Fort Saskatchewan, loaded in. And I mean, there's no fillers. My dad built that thing like down to the 1/8 of an inch, and
holy cow,
there's no fillers, and yeah, it's awesome. And
that's craftsmanship.
That
we're also trying to bring back to the industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I that year though, I was obsessed with building. I just remember it was like one of those things in my ADHD brain where it was like I was hyper fixated on it. Yeah. And we had to pick a thing in shop, and my shop teacher was Sid Cranston. I remember him to this day because he was such a fun, energetic shop teacher. And because you know how the wrong teacher could just turn you off of anything?
Yeah, absolutely.
He ignited a passion for it. And they had some really cool things there at Rudolph Venig at the school I went to. And I remember we were talking about building something to be marked for the whole year sort of thing. Like you got to build one thing that's going to set you apart.
Like a final project for the class?
Final project. Yeah. And I went home and I was talking with my dad at the supper table, and my dad jokingly said, you should build a scaled house, like a framed house. And I thought, okay, let's do it. Yeah. So we ripped a whole bunch of little cedar strips.
Oh, no way.
Made them right scaled down to what equivalent of a stud 2x4 is. Yeah. And, from the double bottom plates, double top plates, the rafters, we did all sorts of different, there was bay windows that hung off of it. Oh, wow. But everything was built to code. The jack studs, the king studs, everything. Yeah. Like, I got down to anywhere that I knew, like, what the code was kind of in my head and what I remember my dad telling me about it. Yeah. Is what I built. And this thing, we put it on a huge sheet of MDF. And my parents I built part of it at school and I built part of it at home. And I brought it in, handed it in, and I just remember him looking at this and saying, that's unreal. Yeah. So he got out a tape measure and started measuring it, and he's like, first of all, this is just, you pass, no worries. Don't worry about it. But he's like, I'm keeping this. Did you want it back? And I was like, uh-huh. But what am I going to do with it? Yeah. Put a G.I. Joe in there and be like, hey, you got a house without walls. You got studded house, nothing to hold it up. And I gave it, or I guess donated it to school, and that sat on display there for the longest time.
That's cool.
And then you get into high school and realize that money's everything.
Yeah.
You can't go far in life without it. So the pursuit of that kind of quickly went out, but I mean, we were still building stuff.
Yeah. Day. Yeah, no, and that's unfortunate. Like when you say, money matters so much, and unfortunately it does. That's just part of reality. But because I think there's so many people out there that would love to create and do something in a creative field. Like again, with this music store I had, met tons of musicians, and hats off to them. They're struggling and living poorly because they don't have a ton of money, but they're doing what they love to do. And, they just keep making music and hoping for a break here and there, and my hat's off to them. But
absolutely. And that's what it comes down to is follow your passions in life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, money isn't everything, but obviously in today's world, it's something you need to have. And
it's hard to buy a house on hopes and dreams.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
One of the other projects I remember building with my dad as a young age was when I went to school called James Mowat out in Fort Saskatchewan. They redid one of the parks because they had two parks, and there was a park for like the little kids, and there was a park for like the little older kids.
Yeah,
they were all little, but kind of segregating us out there on the park. It's just be like, you're grade kindergarten to 3, you're 4 to 6. You guys don't intermingle, don't ruin those kids yet.
Yeah.
And they replaced one of the parks, and I remember watching that, and it was the coolest thing ever. And my dad showed up one day at home with a whole bunch of doweling and metal rod, like little metal it must have been like TIG wire, MIG wire, like just a thin, like an 18 gauge wire or something like that. And he showed up and we built a model park on our kitchen table. Just something to do.
Yeah.
And again, like we took it to the school and showed them. And I've always been into building things, models. Yeah. Tons of models.
I did tons of those old, I can't remember the brand, but I had lots of those models. I had the whole painting, the little circular tray of 30 different colors of paint. And
they had that little circular, Milo got into this. My son Milo got into models this last year.
Yeah.
It was a big nostalgia kickback going into the model stores and start buying the paints and stuff again.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I did a lot of airplanes. Just a note about me, I'm into aviation as well, so that's another thing.
Check out his app.
Had my private pilot's license.
At his app.
Oh yeah, I'll have to. We'll get a link out to the app for any pilots listening. It's AV8.
Yeah,
just the letters A, V, and the number 8. But sorry, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, the models. I did lots of airplane models, and my dad always loved cars, so we had lots of car models as well. His dream car is a 55 Chevy Bel Air. That's
That was a good year.
That was sort of, I guess he'd be in his
Nomad or like the actual just the Bel Air.
I don't know for sure. He would have been in his teens or early 20s through the 50s. No, in his teens through the 50s, and so he loved all the cars. And one thing he always said is about how cars changed every year. Like he could tell you the year of a car just by looking at it, because the headlight's a different shape this year, or this fin is a different shape that year. Whereas today, I mean, there's some nice cars, but they don't change much.
They don't. And what's funny is like between both my parents, my mom and my dad, they would sit sometimes while we're driving somewhere, and Dad would be like, that's a 67. And Mom will be like, are you sure? That looks like a 68 or 69. Yeah. And it's just listening to the two of them. And it's like, nowadays, it's like, that's a 96 Dodge Neon. How can you tell?
Yeah.
Because it's in a field upside down with a tree growing through it.
Yeah.
They're not on the road anymore.
But you can hardly go, well, that's a 2022, I don't know, Toyota CRV.
Yeah.
Or RAV4, sorry, not CRV.
So on Home Improvement, that was a 56 Chevy Nomad.
Oh, that's what they were building?
Yeah.
Or he was building?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Beautiful car.
Well, we've delved into cars now. What are you building in your garage? You've got something going.
I am actually working on the history of this truck. It was my grandpa's truck. I think when the truck somehow gained the name Jimmy.
Okay.
So that's whenever I refer to Jimmy, it's not like an actual like an old Jimmy. It's
the name of the car.
It's the name of the truck, and that truck has quite the story. That was a old Canada forestry truck at one point.
Yeah.
And I think the number used to be like painted, or an X used to be painted on the roof of it.
Okay.
So that if they ever flew over, they could see it. And it's 1965 GMC long box step side. In editing one day, we'll be able to crop some pictures in there. And that was my grandpa bought it off some forestry company. And that was his truck out on the farm. And then when they sold the farm, that truck sat on their driveway. My dad bought it and drove it as his daily driver out to one of the plants long time ago. Long time ago. I wasn't even around yet.
Okay.
You would have been quite young. And I guess the thermostat, it was winter time and the thermostat stuck and it overheated.
Yeah.
And it died on the side of the road. So my dad had it towed out to their farm, which is out by east of Redwater. And the truck got pushed beside the machine shed and it sat there. And they ended up moving to Peace River, and that's where I was born.
Okay. Yeah.
So that would have been early 80s. My parents went up to Peace River. We didn't end up moving back to Fort Saskatchewan until 91. And in 91, when we went back, Dad, right away, it was like, you're going to learn how to farm. You're going to know how to chore by the end of this.
Yeah.
There was no iPads. There was no phones.
You're a warm body. You're going to work.
Exactly. Yeah. You like picking rocks? Not really. Well, good. Get used to it.
You want dinner? Work.
Yeah, that's right. You want stuff? You're going to work for it. So that's what we did. But we went out to the farm, and I remember seeing this truck, and I played all over it. I crawled, even though there was mice everywhere inside the part edit moment. There was mouse poop everywhere inside of it. And one of the things was that, you know, I just went into it and played with it. And I was like, Dad, we're going to get this thing running one day. And he said, yeah, but you're going to do it, not me.
Yeah.
Like, I've done my engines and overhauls. You can do it. So it was like, I think I was in grade 1 winter. It's between like kindergarten and grade 1. We went out to the farm one year. We pulled the engine out. And I can't remember. I think we used a tractor to pull it.
Okay.
Or my dad just lifted it. He's just that strong of a
monster.
Man. Yeah, he just grabbed a hold of it, cupped it, and lifted it like a basketball. And whoa, me strong. Put it in the back of his little Ford Ranger, and off we went. But over the course of a winter, we overhauled the engine, and I just remember like down to learning about feeler blades and plastic gauge and all sorts of cool things, and just falling in love with tinkering even more than I was. And we got it all done over the course of, I think it was Christmas break. And then it was like spring break. We got it painted. So it was over the course of the winter. And then first thing in the spring, we went out to the farm and put it back in, and we turned the key. And once the pump got fuel to the engine, she fired right up.
Yeah.
And the sound of that.
That's always a huge feeling, right?
Oh, it was so cool. It was so cool. And
I haven't done a lot of work on cars, but I rebuilt a Toyota Celica, and I just remember that feeling when you actually get the engine back together and you turn the key and it's like, oh yes, okay, it works.
The only thing I have to say is with that 65 sitting in my garage, there was a few bolts we forgot.
Yeah, well, they were extra.
It wasn't on the highway, but the
factory just gave you extra bolts.
Didn't need them. And but one of the really cool things was that going into grade 2, I remember though, because it was spring into summer and we got that truck running, and in the beginning of the year, the teacher asked, "What did you guys work on over your summer? Like, what did you guys do?" And I said, "I built an engine. Like, I built a really cool engine. Yeah, I was all proud of it and everything." And the teacher was like, "Yeah." So she called my parents and was like, "Your son is fabricating stories." Mom's like, "No, he's not. That's real."
So you're so good at making, you could even fabricate the story.
That's right.
You didn't have to.
No, I didn't have to, but yeah, the teacher didn't believe me. And then my mom was like, yeah. So
that's cool.
Yeah. After that, I mean, they had a different opinion about me. That was, I think though, part of that ADD thing at the time of,
okay.
You know, I was a super hyper kid and bouncing off the walls. And once the teachers discovered that if you give him something to build or do, he can be creative and quiet. He'll shut up for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So, no, we got that truck running. We drove it around the farm. That was the farm truck forever.
Okay. So now the rebuild in your garage is just getting her back to life and sprucing it up?
A little more than that.
Okay.
A little more. Jimmy is torn right down right now to the frame. We took the frame because I've always wanted it to be a fleet side. And then now that
educate me and the listeners as to what a fleet side is.
Well, the difference between a fleet side and a step side is the step side has those little step sides on the side that you can step on.
Okay, I know a step side. Yeah.
A fleet side is just a nice smooth box all the way to the
back. Okay.
Big panels essentially, and I have an obsession with short box, and just it's more like driving a little car around.
Yeah,
it's a truck, and it's just a big hunk of metal. Yeah, and. So I decided here this year or 2 years ago, the truck's sitting there rusting, and I was like, it's only going to keep rusting. It's only ever going to get older, and there's going to be a day that there's not much left to do anything with. So I went out and pulled the box off of it and got it all ready and said, it's coming home.
So he made the decision to bring it back to life, get the welder out and get rid of the rust. And
started with a plasma cutter.
Yeah.
Torched 20 inches out of the frame.
Oh, wow.
Stitched it back together. We did a Z cut. So basically we do like a step cut, overlap it.
Okay, yeah.
Welded it all back together, and we put a fish plate in there to make sure it's all good. And my dad and I did that over the course of a weekend. And one of the big things, though, was measuring. This is where being a millwright is awesome.
You have to measure?
Yeah, measure. That one I measured twice, only cut once.
Okay.
There was no adding little bit
no,
back to
no
it.
metal stretchers.
There's metal
Well, I guess you
stretchers,
could
but
stretch
not the
some
one that
metal,
you
but
want.
yeah.
And no, we got it all back, and it's right square.
Cool.
I mean, we'll know when I get an alignment done.
Yeah. They'll be like, "Who
You
built
just
this
wasted
thing?"
your money. No, it's square. I know that. We made many references. We used a center punch and actually put punch marks in the frame.
Yeah.
And kind of highlighted those marks and
They measure corner to corner and
corner to corner, lengthwise, across, from the ground up. Everything's level. Sitting on jack stands, you cut out the section that you're taking out, and then you basically roll the other section back into it as you hit your microphone. And there's so many parts, but there's not a lot.
And it's old enough that you're not having to deal with all the the electronic fuel injection and all that kind of stuff. But yeah.
A couple diodes and fuse box and
it's all stuff for tinkerers. You don't have to have a computer degree to work on it.
No, you don't.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. And I mean that's obviously what both you and I like to do is build stuff.
Yeah. Metal.
Make stuff,
wood.
Tear stuff down, rebuild it.
Find out what makes it work.
Yeah.
Also, because I don't have the money to buy everything all the time, so I like to build the stuff that I need.
Yeah. Well, you were telling me a great story about Milo, your son, the other day, about him wanting to rebuild something. What was that?
He broke a toy, and I can't remember what it was. It was one of his dump trucks or something.
Yeah.
And he brought it to me, and he was only, I'll get the fact on this, but he was 4 or 5 years old.
Okay.
And he brought it to me, and he says, "Dad, is there any way you can mend this?"
That's just such a big concept for a 4 or 5 year old.
Yeah, I was like, I got to go get a thesaurus and find out what this kid is asking me, but let's fix it. And that's anything he broke. He used to say, well, let's fix it. And he still does that to this day.
Yeah.
And one of the things he wants to do is make his own fishing lures.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's obsessed with fishing, and I love it.
Yeah.
If there's a passion in life, that's the one.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's so relaxing. And
yeah.
I know we're going to get more into fishing and stuff like that. But
we're going to go deep into fly fishing one day.
Yeah.
Any kind of fishing, really.
Exactly.
Canoes. Oh, man. Boats.
Have you built a canoe yet? No, that's on the list.
It's on the list. There's a couple little projects we got to build first.
Oh, yeah.
I need a bass guitar.
Yeah, well, I do make guitars. That's
Darryl,
something we haven't got into yet about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I've talked enough.
I mean, I've as I mentioned, we had the music studio for a few years, about 5 years. And, but even before that, kind of ever since I was in my teens, I've been interested in music and played guitar, not super well. I was always sort of a novice player, and I actually had a couple of buddies. One of them wanted to play bass, and another guy got a drum kit from his uncle or something like that. So we just put a band together, and we'd go play in one of the friends' basements. Never had any ideas of, playing shows or anything like that. It was just for us to have fun, and kind of did that in the early university years. So that's always been a passion of mine, is music and playing guitar. And then combine that with the woodworking about, sometime around 2008, 2009, I thought, I should try and make an electric guitar. So I did that. This is part of my problem, and you touched on sort of your ADHD tendencies, and I have similar tendencies. So in some ways, we're not a good pairing at work here because we have some of the same problems.
We go down the same rabbit hole.
Yeah. But I started building sort of Gibson Les Paul copy and started that in 2009, and it's still not finished.
Is it an Epiphone brand? Is that why?
No, it's a Darryl phone brand. It's my own, but no, because my problem is I never finish projects except for at work. We always finish our projects and we do them well.
That's right.
But
we have to.
But my personal projects, I got a lot of things on the go that haven't been finished yet. But I've built a bass guitar. I've built a bunch of electric guitars. Just that Les Paul is still sitting in the workshop at home, waiting. It's all done except for being finished with the final clear coat spray and then being put together. But yeah, and then I haven't built an acoustic guitar yet, but I want to do that. I've built a couple of ukuleles, so it's all kinds of stuff, and we'll get into that in future podcasts. We'll former employee of yours actually is a luthier, and
I am going to reach out to him.
We're going to see if we can get him and tell us all about guitar making.
We're going to get him on the show. If I got to go pick him up and drive him here, I will.
Yeah.
It's good. We're going to force him into this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think he'd be happy to talk about it. We'll let him do his shtick too about his new company on the side. And
okay, so he's doing that professionally.
Yeah, he's doing guitar repair on the side. And
oh, nice.
I think it's Arndt Guitars.
Okay, like ARNDT.
Yep.
So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Justin Arndt, and super talented guy when it comes to that, and he is very detail oriented.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you have to be.
I mean,
with that kind of stuff.
We had him here building cabinets, and it was almost like that was a waste of his talent.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
To be honest,
you're too good for me.
Yeah.
Fly, jump out of the nest, fly.
Oh man, like we did a monster sized walnut table river pour, and what happened was we went to a job. Some clients bought some jersey cabinets for us. And while I was there, I was just looking at this big 12-foot long table and taking a peek at it, and there's a huge crack in the middle of it, and I'm like, ugh. So I'm looking, and the more I look at it, the more I see, and the more I see, the more terrified I could see it I was becoming. And I think the homeowner saw that too, and she right away was like, yeah, we had this commissioned, and yeah, it's just not like, she didn't say anything bad, but she also was like, she wasn't happy with it.
Yeah, it wasn't quite what they wanted.
So I was like, I wouldn't do this. I'd do this. And it's just part of me. Like I'm guilty sometimes to a fault of, I didn't plan to do that.
Yeah, no.
Kind of went into it and started saying like how I would build it if I were doing it. And she's like, well, why don't you do it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Really?
Yeah, give me a chance. I'll do it.
Yeah. So we picked this table up. There were supposed to be 3 of us, and one guy was sick the day that we went to go pick it up. Actually, the minute we were leaving, he was sick and couldn't come with us, and I didn't want him coming with us at that moment. And so Justin and I somehow wrangled, and this table's got to be 300-400 pounds.
Oh, well, yeah.
And the 2 of us, and Justin's probably like 150 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah.
So I think I picked it up with him holding onto it still and carried that thing out. The whole time there, I'm pretty sure that's where a lot of my injuries became really pronounced. But we got the table out, got it loaded in my truck, drove it here. It took a forklift to unload it.
Oh, wow.
And for about a week straight, Justin just sat and chiseled.
Yeah.
And what we discovered was this person who built it first time didn't actually use epoxy right through. They used expanding foam to fill it. Oh, and then they poured just like a little bit of epoxy on it.
Yeah, it's not going to hold together.
No, and they put like river rock, like those pebble rocks you put in a fireplace.
Yeah, yeah.
Like those decorative little gem rocks.
Yeah.
Somebody put those in it and then poured over it, but never poured it deep. So it was really rough. And I mean, we can edit probably some pictures into this, but we took a lot of pictures of before and after. And what we ended up doing was chiseling everything out, adding a whole bunch of butterflies to it. And butterflies are essentially, or bow tie, if you want to call it. Basically, we took some walnut that matched very similar in color and density of the wood and grain, and we routered in these things, and Justin sat there with a chisel and just tap, 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 tap. Yeah. So he used a router to get it roughed in, and then tap, 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 tap.
Chisel it out to make it perfect.
They were beautiful. Like there was no filling on it, and
nothing like a good sharp chisel, and that will be something we talk about a lot as well.
A whole episode on chisels and planes. We'll bring them both in.
Yeah,
and
anything sharp.
I mean, that's where he really impressed me though with his skill. Was that day when he was doing all this, and I was like, man, I got to have more than just cabinetry and some of that. Yeah, and that's where we really were pushing more of the woodworking side. And I mean, Intuitive Woodworks, their whole reason it's called Intuitive Woodworks was cabinetry is it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's pretty, cabinetry is I mean, when you do it well, it's fun, it's rewarding. At the same time, there's something about woodworking and building something from a slab of wood, like a raw chunk of wood, with your hands and nothing but a handful of tools that, I don't know, it's very rewarding.
Yeah.
And,
well, and I think that's something, since I started here that I've seen sort of the passion in everybody. We're a small company but you've done a great job of bringing in a group of people who are passionate about what they're doing. And, you know, yes, we make cabinets and we make custom cabinets. So there's some interesting stuff we can do. But to a certain extent, sometimes cabinetry gets a little boring if we're being honest, but it's an essential thing. People want it, and
it's fun to shake it up.
And well, yeah, I mean, we love doing the custom work with, well, there's all kinds of different stuff we do with various pullouts and drawers and just, putting mirrors in. And, we're doing one right now for a client where we're putting their company logo in the top of the, above a mirror and having it backlit, but, and just cool stuff like that. But I think that's sort of what we all see, is that there's sort of I don't want to use mundane. Mundane's not the right word, but
no, because it is still a passion of ours.
Yeah.
And every job is exciting. It's just, I don't know how to say it, when you get to go pick out a piece of raw wood for a client who wants something built, like an end table. And
yeah.
You're starting out with a piece of 8-quarter cherry that comes into your shop, and it's like, I'm going to turn this into into a piece of furniture.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's totally different than taking a sheet that was designed to be a cabinet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And using your vision to go, okay, some just see a chunk of wood, a chunk of a tree. I can see, whatever thing we're making out of it, I can see it in there.
And I mean, that was one of the things that we said we were going to do off the hop when we came up with Intuitive Woodworks, was always incorporating that side of the custom woodworking. It was though when we did that table for that client that I really wanted to push that more and more and more and see how I can incorporate that into the company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then that was the thing, like when Justin left to pursue his luthier skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why he had to go and do that selfish task there to himself, but no, when he went to go do that, I felt like I had to replace him with somebody with that type of skill. Mm-hmm. Like not just anybody, you can't just take anybody back there and say, here, I want you to build this with me and expect them to understand like how to use a chisel and how to use a jack plane properly.
Yeah.
Understand wood grains and wood characteristics.
Yeah. Like how it's going to move after you put it together, and, all the things you have to think about. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not something you rush. You don't rush.
No.
You can't rush a guitar build.
No. Unless you're making a sign for a podcast, then you rushed it.
I wouldn't say you rushed it.
No, it wasn't rushed.
I would say that it
was done lovingly and with haste.
With haste. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to use. Yeah. Post haste. Yeah. Rubio Monocoat, and how amazing the product is. We've had very good luck with it.
Yeah, I love that product because it's easy to apply.
It's easy to apply. It's easy to maintain, and it's
strong.
The fumes can be a little much on building a sign and then hanging it and shooting a podcast right away. But
absolutely.
That's okay.
Yeah, doesn't that come from the flooring world?
It does.
Isn't that where it started?
It absolutely does. Yeah. It was pioneered as one coat flooring application on hardwoods, and then they modified it to be used on fine furniture and food grade products. And
it's food safe?
Well, you can use it on your countertops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't use it on a butcher block.
Yeah.
Per se. I would stick to the mineral oils and waxes.
Yeah.
But for a countertop, you can use it.
If it's coming from flooring, it must be tough.
It's got to be tough. I mean, you've seen some people's heels at the pool, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sand a floor just with those things alone. We've been really happy with it. It comes with a ton of different tints that we can use. Yeah, we're going to hit them up for a sponsorship. I'm going to get a hold of my rep.
When we get 1 million listeners, and we only need, I don't know, what, 1 million more?
We need 998,000. 999,096 more.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got 4 listeners today.
That's only if my parents tune in. They said they would.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
They might not.
We'll force them to sit down and listen to it.
They might just try to make me feel good. Parents do that. They're awesome. We kind of, I think, touched on a little bit of who we are, but I think that
so. We can explore that more.
We'll
leave some secrets.
That's right.
Unanswered.
I'm not a first date kind of give a kiss kind of guy. Got to work for that.
So please tune in to future episodes.
And if anybody's listening, let's throw a promo code.
Absolutely.
On our website, looking at you, camera. And yeah, let's throw a promo code for 10% off if you use Milling and Chilling.
There we go. We don't want some super secret code for this episode.
Oh, maybe we'll do a super secret. What would be a good super secret one just for this episode? See if anybody actually made it to the end.
I'm just reading off your iPad stand there. Kind of a big deal.
There we go.
That's the promo code. Kind of a big deal.
We will delve into that sticker and the meaning behind it one day.
Okay.
Yeah. I think episode 2, just to be more into the woodworking side, and we'll delve into cabinets. Like that, cabinets is a beast of its own. And
yeah.
I feel like everybody kind of feels like they know quite a bit about it, but that's once you open Pandora's box, that's a 10-episode run right there. Maybe 11. But I think for tomorrow's episode, or the next episode, I should say, not tomorrow's, let's talk about, it's going to be all about wood.
That sounds good.
Yeah, about the different types of cuts, rift cuts, flat cuts.
No.
I mean, when you walk into a place like Windsor Plywood, any of your suppliers, you need to know what you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. Just, being woodworking geeks, when we walk into those places and you see some nice whatever. Yeah. Walnut, Babinga, Cocobolo.
All of them.
All the fancy woods.
Yep. Maple. Just love good old-fashioned.
Yep, there you go.
Canadian maple to American maple. Anyways, we'll leave that to go in episode
We'll delve
2.
deep.
Yeah.
And we'll sprinkle in little things about your canoe trip and
I think so. Yeah,
we'll
delve into some of those, and the plan. I got the plans for building the canoe.
Okay, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, we're gonna build a canoe here.
I've always thought it would be cool to build a boat. I don't think it was ever anything I would ever do, but
we're going to
help you build a canoe if you
might be a winter
that.
project for us here.
Okay.
Yeah. If the schedule allows for it, we will build one. I guess though we only need a couple hours.
There's always after hours.
There's always after hours.
You don't have a wife and kids to go home to and take care of.
If I stay here too much, I won't.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just kidding. They're stuck with me. Anyway, well, I think the first episode of Milling and Chilling is a wrap.
I think so. It's been fun.
Yeah. So anybody who actually did tune in and is interested in going on our website, checking out, we don't have much on there yet. We're going to start uploading as we come along here and get more products to put on there. But we have our flat brim caps. I believe they are the 110s. I can't remember.
I don't know much about caps. All I know is they're snapback.
They're snapbacks.
They're cool caps.
They're nice hats. They're very nice hats. And they got a really good description about them.
Yeah.
There's some beanies on there. There's going to be some shirts and crew necks and hoodies coming on. But one of the other ones, though, too, is our infamous Intuitive coffee mug.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, get all your Intuitive swag at intuitivewoodworks.ca. There's a shop button you can click on.
Yeah. Oh, that's the camera telling us he's done. He's done.
I guess that's the end of the episode.
That's the end of this episode. So thanks for tuning in, anybody that was here.
Yes. We hope to see more of you, or you see more of us. I guess we can't see you, but it'll be an adventure.
It will be.
Oh, and we were going to take questions as well.
Yeah.
We didn't mention that. Once we get this on various platforms, YouTube, Spotify, etc., we'll be uploading the video, obviously, to YouTube. And so if you want to make any comments or ask questions or anything like that, we want to answer your questions if you have anything. So in future episodes, tune back in and we'll answer what you've asked us.
And feel free to ask questions about wood.
Yep.
We'll throw that on episode 2.
Absolutely. Or you can ask us what kind of a big deal means. I don't know yet.
No. That's episode 272.
Okay, well, you have to wait. 172. Okay.
272.
Episode 272, you get to find out what kind of a big deal is.
Be there next week.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much for tuning in.
And take care till we talk again.